Imagine walking into a city, bright, full of people, the sound of life everywhere. And yet, when you ask, "What is this place called?" there is no answer. The people shrug. The signs are blank. The past is missing. A city without a name, without memory. What happens when the foundation of identity is gone? This is the story of such a place. But more than that, it is a reflection on what happens when we, too, forget where we come from. The whispers of what was. How does a city lose its identity? Perhaps through disaster, when fire or flood wipes away the archives. Perhaps through suppression, when rulers decide the past is too dangerous to remember. Or perhaps through neglect, when no one bothers to carry the story forward, when silence becomes more comfortable than remembrance. The traces are still there. Broken monuments with words too faded to read. Maps where a name has been rubbed out. Buildings that do not match the culture around them. Whispers that there once was a story, but it slipped through careless hands. And yet, the absence speaks louder than presence. A missing name is not just an empty space, it is a wound that keeps reopening. A vanished story is not just forgotten, it is a mirror of what can be lost when people stop telling and retelling. Again and again, memory asks to be carried. Again and again, neglect answers with silence. A city does not lose itself all at once. It forgets piece by piece. First the archive, then the monument, then the ritual, then the name itself. What is true for a city is true for us. Forget once, and the next forgetting comes easier. Let silence settle, and the story dissolves. Lives without acknowledged history. The people who live there, they go on with their days. They work, they raise families, they build lives. When asked about the city's past, they shrug. Some say it does not matter. Others feel an emptiness they cannot explain, a subtle weight pressing on their shoulders, as if a missing name was haunting every street corner. There are no founding festivals, no stories of heroes, no myths of origin. Without a shared beginning, they invent new traditions. They celebrate the present, they cling to the now. Yet the silence of the past echoes through every moment. It echoes in the unmarked squares where parades might have marched. It echoes in lullabies with no ancestral names. It echoes in children who grow up asking, "Where did we come from?" and hearing only silence. And repetition deepens the void. Without memory, there is no pride. Without memory, there is no caution. Without memory, there is no thread to tie one generation to the next. A city can survive without wealth. A city can survive without beauty. But can a city survive without story? The Reconstruction of Identity. Some try to recover what was lost. They search through archives in distant libraries. They dig through the ground for broken tablets and hidden clues. They scroll old forums, chase fragments of digital memory, hoping for a glimpse of what came before. They ask elders for whispers. They trace the shape of erased letters. They follow echoes that lead them into silence. They repeat the question again and again. What was this city called? But here lies the dilemma. If the past is uncovered, does it bind the city again, or does it chain it? What if the story that returns is painful, divisive, or unwanted? What if memory brings pride to some and shame to others? Is it always good to know? Or is there mercy in forgetting? A truth recovered can heal, but a truth recovered can also wound. To remember is to risk. To forget is to drift. Again and again, the choice returns. Uncover or release, bind or let go. Beyond the horizon, the reflection. This city is not only about stone and streets, it is about us. Communities lose their memory when they stop telling their story. Families lose their identity when traditions fade. Individuals lose themselves when they no longer remember what gave their lives meaning. We all live in cities of memory. We all depend on shared stories. And when those stories are lost, we drift. So ask yourself, what is the name of your own city, your own foundation? What stories do you want to remember, and which ones are you letting fade into silence? Perhaps the greatest danger is not that the city forgot its name, but that we might forget to remember our own.